Nombre sobre todo nombre, reinarás por siempre, siempre igual, exáltale. Cristo sobre todo nombre, reinarás por siempre, siempre igual, exáltale.
So my name is Glen Peterson, and I work with World Relief in Southern California. What I'd like to talk to you about today is a program of recognition and accreditation to provide immigrant legal services in your church and in your community. We live in a time, as you are well aware, where there are more displaced people and more migrants coming into the United States and fleeing from their countries of origin who need assistance and are finding that the legal system is extremely difficult to navigate. World Relief provides education and technical assistance to help churches provide improved understanding of the legal system. The challenge for us as pastors and church leaders is that we may be tempted to give legal advice when we don't understand the broader implications of what's going on in the legal system and the many changes that are happening now. So I'd like to give you an overview of the Department of Justice, the U.S. Department of Justice recognition and accreditation process, and how you can consider whether or not you and your church or your congregation should proceed with this process. The United States Department of Justice has provided an opportunity for nonprofit organizations who provide social services or religious organizations to help them provide competent, qualified, non-lawyer representation for vulnerable immigrant populations. This program is designed to protect such populations from notario fraud and from unscrupulous providers who might prey on them. It improves the government's oversight of recognized organizations and what goes on in communities and helps protect the people that we as the church want to serve. So you may have heard of BIA accreditation and recognition. It's now called Department of Justice recognition and accreditation. And this office will assist or will adjudicate, will monitor the first time and renewal attempts and renewal applications to maintain a roster of recognized organizations and their accredited representatives and provide this information to the communities that we serve. So in order for a nonprofit agency or a church to become recognized and to have accredited staff, the organization needs to have a federal tax-exempt social service, charitable, religious, or similar mission established in the United States. The church will need to have adequate access to legal knowledge and experience about immigration and legal procedures. The organization will primarily need to serve low-income immigrants. A written plan for clients who cannot provide, who cannot afford fees, or the mission of the organization needs to be providing services to people who cannot afford fees, and the organization needs to have a policy or for fee waivers or for a reduced fee for those who can't afford it. Additional requirements for recognition include that they must have one accredited representative for their organization who is willing and able to continue their education, be well versed in immigration law, and is a person of high moral character who will remain accredited to keep the organization recognized. The organization must designate as a primary physical location in the community to be recognized, and that must be part of their desire, is to serve that community that they're in. Applications for recognition must require the filling out of certain forms and putting together an application that includes a mission and purpose document such as bylaws, includes budget and financial resources, a schedule of fees, proof of federal tax exempt status, and documentation of partnerships, a legal library, and other access to knowledge and experience, and also letters of recommendation and an org chart. Part of the services that World Relief provides is to help with this application process to help organizations like yours become recognized. The accreditation process has to happen alongside of recognition. Again, there's a form to fill out, and there's important documentation that needs to be provided that demonstrates a broad knowledge and experience of the immigration system. Some of those documents include a resume listing the education experience of the individual applying, letters of recommendation, and certificates for employment. During the time that an organization is recognized, they do have to report back to the Department of Justice. They have to be sure that they keep updated with any name changes, staff changes, authorized officers, changes of address, changes to organizational structure, or changes to the tax exempt status of the organizations. Organizations will be monitored, and individuals for problems. Any false statements would be found out in their application, false or misleading information that is provided to clients or prospective clients. Any failure to adequately supervise accredited reps would be a problem. And the organization must engage in lawful or in appropriate practice of law through staff, and have an attorney who assists with oversight. Some of the steps that are required for organizations and for the individuals who would seek to be accredited include a broad spectrum training of basic immigration law. World Relief provides these trainings periodically. The last 40 hours, a full week of training. The individual must complete at least 3 months of hands-on shadowing, watching how procedures are done, seeing how an office is set up, observing appropriate practices of confidentiality and due diligence with clients. The steps of application require that the individual take webinars and other trainings beyond the 40 hours. They have to continue their legal education, and that includes those who would seek to renew their accreditation in the future. An organization would need to find a legal technical support provider, compile documents for the organization and the representative that include letters of recommendation, and then submit their application. Typically, it's taking about a year or more for people to become accredited. Once the application is submitted and completely packaged and sent off, the wait is typically 3 to 6 months for a response from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service. So World Relief provides this service through their Immigrant Legal Services Department, and you can find that at the website that you see on your screen now. And we look forward to working with you and helping you. Thank you very much.